All right. Hello, I'm Lexi. Thank you for tuning into my channel again. My inspired gift idea for this lovely gift giving season is a jewelry bag. I think the jewelry bag is a beautiful feminine piece that I think someone will actually hold on to for quite some time. It's nice to use for travel because there's all of these little pockets on the inside of the pouch that help you divide like sets of earrings or rings or necklaces, and you can put bigger objects obviously in the center. This is actually really nostalgic. It's a lighter that I found at a flea market in Zurich the first time I went out there to visit my aunt. I stayed with her for a couple months and it was the most memorable summer I've ever had. And so this always reminds me of her. So I have a vintage glass bead bracelet my mom made me. So that's like a nice example of like what can fit in the center of this pouch. It also has a nice cushy little pillow. Anything that is delicate, like say glass beads, can be in it. You can just throw the pouch down on something that is marble and know that it's going to be safe. It's not going to break because it has a little cushion. I think this idea is a little different from what I typically see everywhere. I love this thing. I don't think I would ever get rid of it, and I find it really useful. And I think I'm even inspired to make a bigger version of this as a purse. Like the foundation of this pattern is just circles. It's basically two circles. So it's a large circle and a smaller circle. So after you sew those two pieces together, then you do a little slit on each side, you do your drawstring, done. It's very, very easy. In that how-to video, I start with muslin. I usually use muslin for all of my practice pieces if I don't want to feel anxious around the idea of wasting fabric. My circle is a little wonky, so if you have any suggestions as to sew a better circle without having to mark your fabric, please leave a suggestion for that in the comments. I would really appreciate that because I have no idea how to do that. The first time I did it, just sort of eyeballing it. The second time I used pins, and they're getting better. It's not that great, but so like this one is really nice. It's big. Maybe it just needs to be bigger and it wouldn't look so wonky, but I don't think anyone really notices that sort of thing anyway. It doesn't matter. So the first one is muslin. That's in the how-to video. The second one that I made was inspired by this fabric that I saw at my local fabric store. It's this gorgeous mesh material with embroidery on it. It's just beautiful flowers. I love it so much. Every time I would see it, I'd be like, I gotta do something with that. It's so lovely. I put that over a synthetic, like ivory cream material, and it turned out really pretty. The shine of that synthetic material is really nice, and it really helps the embroidery pop in this. We have a nice example of natural fiber. We have a nice example of something a bit more embellished with embroidery. And then this is just a nice example of velvet. This is a pink velvet. It's got a nylon lining on the inside. So it is kind of nice to have that mixture of the fabrics. It's just nice to feel those different textures. And the nylon on the inside is like, it's slippy. It feels good when you're like pulling something out. But then the velvet is very soft and appealing. I want to get in there with the jewelry. It's so cozy. This natural fiber one kind of reminds me of canvas as well. So you could always make this out of like a thicker canvas and paint it if you want to customize it for somebody in particular. I think that's a nice idea. You could also use like a vintage tapestry or something you find thrifted. Another idea, something that I wanted to do for this video but I didn't have time for, was make one out of leather. It'd be cool to see this as a purse actually. So if like we did the same exact pattern, just bigger, it would actually work well as like a crossbody bucket bag. I think I'm gonna do it for myself. It doesn't even have to be leather. It could be pleather. It could be any fabric. But it would be nice to see this in another size as well. I think it's a gift that nobody's gonna just ditch. I think if you use this to gift somebody a piece of jewelry, or you just use it as a gift on its own, I think someone will hold on to this for a long time, and it will be really memorable because it's so sweet and feminine and useful. You know, for travel or just like sitting in your top dresser drawer, it'll always be around, and I think someone will always be reminded that you were thinking of them. So I hope you find this useful. I hope you find the video useful. Thanks so much for watching this video. Subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. I'll most likely do a 2024 year in review video. A lot has happened this past year with travel and moving and projects, so stay tuned for that. I caught the fly. Gross. Okay.